Alrighty. Well, I wanted to get this little get together going because November's probably going to be busy, I would assume. It usually is. We usually end up skipping November and December. So I wanted to get a, you know, final show in there for October, even though it's only a few days to go.
It's the Halloween show.
And since nothing's going on, I figured at long last we can celebrate the 13-month anniversary. No, it's not. Yeah, that's right, 13. 13-month anniversary of the Pine Knob Show.
Jeez. And I
I
didn't
kept
even
putting
go.
it off, kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. And then finally it's like, seriously, we really have to at least talk about the one show we've seen in the last 3 years.
Well, some of us anyway.
Yeah, not me.
Well, you could have seen it. Lived vicariously.
Yeah, I did listen to it though. I did listen to almost the whole thing live.
That's cool.
Actually, the whole thing. I think I turned it on in the first song. I missed Bing and Bong and all that, so I'm sure you'll.
No, I have not.
Oh,
I've not heard Bing and Bong.
Oh,
when will I hear the Pine Nut Bing and Bong?
I really wanted to because I suggested a question because they were asking for questions on Twitter, and I was in the car at the time, so I sent a question on, and I doubt if they answered or asked it, but it'd be nice to at least get confirmation, yay or nay. But anyway, we're jumping a little ahead.
Yes, it's the year. The year is 2022. 13 months after the Pine Knob Show. It's the 27th of October, and you're wasted away on the North Coast with Amigo Schmo.
Like
and Mickey.
I was trying to
get your name for a minute.
I was gonna try to put like a Simpsons kind of spooky Halloween name to me, and no idea. Nothing. Not one thing came to mind.
I want to be a Scario.
That's good.
That's a good one. Well, Harry, what would our names be? It'd just be Trashler for me.
Schmooky Tashler.
yeah. Schmooky Tashler, Trashler.
Schmooky.
And Mike?
Yeah. What's for Mike? I don't know.
It's probably something obvious. We're just sitting there
staring
at each other.
People are screaming at their podcast device right now. You idiots. It's obviously. It would be.
I call him that all the time.
Monster Mike, a queer, or a Monster Mike. It would be Monster Mike.
I don't know. That's tough. Your mix was the quickest and easiest.
He's thought about it before. I get to
know. I hadn't.
As a kid,
that's I hadn't.
That was very good. A Scario. And we can't do Mike. Mike O'Lantern.
Aquawerewolf.
There you go.
There it is.
Aquawerewolf. Monster Mike Aquawerewolf. Okay.
Not as good as a Scario, but
no.
All right. What are we drinking tonight, gentlemen?
I have not Moosehead, but some blood orange honey beer that I got from some Ween.
That's good stuff. It's about time you drank it.
First, I have 2 cans, and it's the first one I opened.
Yeah, good stuff, right?
I don't know if I really like the orange is okay, but I do like it's not heavy or anything. Yeah. It's tasty.
Mm-hmm.
I just had my Oktoberfest. I was too lazy to go out and get anything.
This tastes like Oktoberfest with orange.
I have my Traverse City Whiskey Company. The barrel proof. The one that I bought.
Bought at the Rogers Show.
Yep. It's good.
I bought the rye and the cherries that were like $30 for a little jar of cherries.
Hey, do you want to do a Roger Klein update?
A what?
RCPM update.
Oh yeah, RCPM corner.
Yeah.
Roger Klein corner.
We finally saw a show.
Yeah, it's been a long time. So
yeah.
I don't know when the last time. It must have been in 2019 sometime.
Or before, yeah.
So for you peace heads out there, we went to the good old Magic Bag here in Ferndale, Michigan, where we've gone many times to see him. Not every time, but many times. And he had a couple warm-ups technically.
Yeah.
And it was and we're old, so we sat down the whole show. And we did
Really?
things like, this is really a good seat. I'm not going to move. We did that kind of thing where we sat in the same place before, but we got to move up close for the main part of the show. But no,
we
sat
great plans to like go to the main floor, right in front of the stage once the main act came on. But we looked around.
We're in chairs.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We're center stage, and it's we're kind of in the back. It's nice and cool because they had like a vent breezing past us, so that was nice.
That's right. It was like the air was moving.
Yeah.
So that's great. Your concert roundup is how comfortable you were.
Yeah, we're all the sound, maybe because we were center stage, the sound it sounded to me like we've had some bad sound at the shows, maybe where we're standing with the sound checks are always a little off, maybe sometimes. I mean, sometimes they're different, I should say. And this sounded great. You could hear his words, but you could hear each of the instruments nicely, clearly. It was I like that. And then there was more chairs. I wanted to say there was more chairs and tables than before. Yeah. The crowd is getting older, but at the same time, there's a lot of youngsters that I know were, 10 years old when, maybe less than 10 when I first saw Roger in 2006. So, I mean, you have some that are like, in their early 20s at the show, and that was cool. It gives me hope that this keeps coming. And I thought the crowd was, for a Monday night, he got a crowd. We've had more before, but it wasn't at all like I thought, this is a sparse Roger crowd. It was
Monday. That's like Monday nights are like the worst nights, right? I would think. And it was a good turnout.
He did this similar, he did like Buffett. He goes, thanks for bringing your making Monday Friday and stuff. And he kept saying that. But the crowd was pretty good. Yeah, especially for Monday. And it sounded good. And I was in a chair.
And once again, we missed at least him, maybe more of the band. We were at another place, the Traverse City Whiskey Company. Joe and I went there and we ate and had some drinks. We figured we'd stop by the taco place for a quick tequila shot on the way over there. And we saw Chad there and his group. And of course, he said Roger had just left like 5 minutes before we
had some tacos and left.
Yep.
So after
the Traverse City thing is in Ferndale.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes. It wasn't.
It threw me off. It's like that's a hell of a trip to go to Traverse City and then Ferndale.
Yeah.
Before the show, why don't we go to Traverse City again? Yeah, it's called
it's only like 4 hours away. 5 hours.
Yeah.
And it's the only one that's not in Traverse City.
Right. And it's
other ones.
Yeah, it's called an outpost, whatever. But they're selling other stuff, which is cool. Like a merch area. And we got that stuff. And the drinks were good. And the wings were good.
Yeah.
The buffalo wings, basically. And but we walked past, we went to go to Howe's Bayou, the New Orleans place.
Yeah, traditional place.
And it's closed on Mondays.
That was a mistake.
It was nice enough to almost eat outside. And then we walked past the taco place. I said, I'm sick of the tacos. Let's go down here and see what there is. And we went to the Traverse City. Of course, that made us miss, have the taco place is all like family style tables and stuff. We could have sat right with them and ate like a pig. But
we went next door and ate like a pig over there.
But we had tequila.
Did you meet him afterward?
No,
or is that old?
We didn't stick around. That's
yeah. It's for the youngsters.
Yeah,
we don't get the 20-year-olds. So and
maybe if it was Friday or Saturday, maybe. But Monday.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You guys were old.
Yeah, we had and didn't we? The last time we saw him, did we do the Amigo meet and greet, whatever it was called? Isn't that when we did it?
Was it?
It must have been 2019. I bet. I have it. I have that poster hanging downstairs. If it's dated,
wow.
When we have a drink break, I'll take a look. I think it was.
Wow, yeah, that was the VIP.
So we met him, asked him questions, bought him a beer, bought tequila. There was a lack.
Joe told the cactus story again.
Yeah, I did. I did like a smaller version.
Did PH remember it? Wasn't he the guy you told the first time?
I
Yeah,
don't think PH was with it. You told Roger.
he
It
was. It was
Roger.
both of them, but Roger
He
was
paying attention.
he gravitated toward Mike and me.
Yeah.
You know,
Of course.
and so we didn't, so this time we walked in and Jason Boots was playing, the old merch guy and the trumpeter, and he played a couple songs, and I get to say, he was just way better than the other time we heard him, when he was like the real special guest.
Oh,
And he was just comfortable with the crowd, talking to him, doing a couple. It was cool. I would have him playing live like Jimmy does at a bar or something. And then after that, who was the guy, the special guest?
Zach Wilkerson.
Wilkerson. I was going to say,
Was it
it's
Wilkerson?
not. It's not Wilkerson, is it? I think. Yeah, you're
Is
the guy.
it?
I didn't know pre-listening. He was talented.
He was super talented. He was like, and I had listened to it before, to try to get prepped for it, and it was very bluesy. Zach.
I'm gonna check my phone for no reason whatsoever.
See, why am I drawing a blank on this? We were just there.
Zach Blank.
Here, I'm gonna look him up. Was it ZAK or ZCH?
That's where I'm running into a problem here, because I thought it was ZACH, but it could be K.
Zach Wilkinson. No R.
Wilkinson. ZACH.
Oh no, I think it was just the ZAC. Yeah. I mean ZAK.
ZAQ.
I'm just saying letters, just sounds. It wasn't anywhere. I don't know why I did that. I got that right. I thought it was, I did Zach space W, and I had searched him before, so it popped up. And anyway, he was talented, and it was just, it was him and a guitar, and did he have a bassist, Mike? Is that all he had?
Yeah.
And PH was his drummer.
Yeah.
And it was good. They were good.
Yeah, they sounded great. The guy's voice was outstanding.
And PH was hammering.
And he was getting into it. I mean, he was really, it's like he was having a good time.
I mean, Zach said a couple of things, thanking him, but he's like, I think he's got like an A+ drummer, best drummer he probably ever had. Unless he went to Nashville and recorded or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? Seriously.
Yeah, and, I mean, he was outstanding.
That's the one thing about sitting in our seats and being in the center, is we didn't see PH that much because Roger was in the way. But we didn't move because we're old and we had good seats.
Wilkerson, ZAC.
Wait, I just had is there a Z?
There's a Zach Wilkinson, but it's not the same guy. This is Zach.
You bought the entire album collection of the wrong guy.
Yeah. This
is Zach.
Yeah, it is. Wilkerson. It's Zach Wilkerson. Okay. No N, there's an R. What did I say?
Wilkinson.
I said ZAC when I meant to say ZAK. I knew somewhere back here it was ZAC. God dang it. I'm not even kidding. That boy, in the recesses of my mind.
And so he's on Apple Music as Americana, but he's more kind of bluesy.
Yeah, he's more like a Memphis or Chicago kind of guy.
Yeah,
more like a Memphis. That's what it seemed like.
But what a voice! And man, he puts a lot into the show, and it was really they did a good job.
I was thinking it was like Roger. I mean, yeah, if you're going to be on stage, you might as well give like full 100%, and he was. It was really cool. And so was PH. He does it all the time. So that was cool. And then, and what covers did Roger do? He did Low. We hadn't heard Low in a while or ever from Cracker. I have Nemo recordings of those, of Low from Cracker, and I like that song.
Mm-hmm.
And our Scott showed up, Scotty P, Scotty Too Hottie, the DJ, and with Ron from I don't know if Mickey's probably met him. Ron from used to be volleyball days, and he's a DJ. And they brought their boss, Joe Maroon, the DJ and photography and stuff, and he came taking photos. And I have to ask for or
Yeah,
see
you know
some
what? I haven't
photos.
seen any of those pictures. And he had like amazing camera there.
Yeah, and he was trying to shop it to like, all those young entertainment magazines. What am I?
Like
Metro
yeah, Metro Times.
Metro Times. I was gonna say Metro Detroit.
It's not Metro Times, is it?
Yeah, Scott did a lot of Instagramming from the concert.
Oh, did he?
Yep. He covered like 4 songs, maybe 5.
Oh, like
I didn't
like
watch
videos?
them, no, but yeah, like little minute long.
He did have his phone up doing stuff.
So I hearted them, but I didn't actually watch them.
Thanks, Mick. it
Showing
takes
some
a
support.
village. Yeah.
Showing some sport. Oh, by the way, speaking of Instagram, we're on. We've got a Wayatnik Instagram account.
Tell them how is that what it's called? Tell them how you can see our Instagram
Well, you
account.
go to Instagram and then you do a search for WAOTNC, and that's us.
Well, I guess I should like get on Instagram because I'm not
Yeah.
even on there.
Anyway, who cares? We got a concert to talk about.
Okay.
Unless we want to do our TV stuff and put the concert off to the very end.
No, do the concert. And we'll
wrap up with TV.
Okay.
Yeah.
Way back in the midst of time, there was a September 23rd in the year 2021. It was a Thursday, and this was our surprise concert that we didn't know about till like a couple months into the tour, the original Life on the Flip Side tour. And it was in late September, and I was thinking, it's probably going to be very cold and windy and wet, but we always seem to have a heat wave in September. Maybe they'll coincide. And no, it was terrible weather on the 23rd. It was wet, cold.
It was some of the worst weather that
I kept checking the weather app in the morning, and it would be like a block of rain, and it kept moving later and later and later. And I'm thinking, oh, I'll just have to drive through it, and the concert will be great. Then it's like, oh, the tailgate's going to be wet, but the concert's going to be great. And then, no, the concert's going to be terrible. And that part didn't really matter because we had pavilion seats, of course, because we're old and need chairs. Before and after, not during though, because we stand during.
Yeah.
But anyway, I went to Mike's house because he lives way out in the country now, farther out in the country. So I went to visit his house and see him as well and his wife.
Yeah, if you thought Canton was out in the country, geez.
Yeah, it was a long drive. And
yeah, I drove to Joe's house just last week or a week before, a couple weeks. And it was every bit of an hour and a half. It was ridiculous. It wasn't even bad traffic.
Yeah, it's like twice. It's about twice as far, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And Schmo was supposed to meet us at the show. And I don't think you were going to meet us at Mike's.
No, but I was on the fence, and then with the weather, I said no. But I was still recovering from COVID.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Now I don't.
We were trying to talk you into it.
It'd been a couple weeks. Well, I was cleared probably 1 week before, but I didn't feel right. I didn't feel how so I really didn't care. And but I thought I might go, but it just seemed tough. And go ahead.
I'm sorry, I have to leave for a second.
And Patty. And Patty left it up to me.
That's right. She was supposed to come too.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, well, I'm sure she didn't mind staying in her jammies.
She said that, but then once I canceled, then she went the other way.
Oh, speaking of masks, it was one of those concerts where you had to prove that you've been vaccinated. But anyway, I got tropical flavored masks. That was my concert mask because I insisted on wearing a mask, just precaution. And then this was going to be delayed, and I wasn't even sure if it was going to show up in time. So I got this mask with a bunch of sharks on it.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a
And
cool one.
and I guess I can open it up. I can figure out which
save
parts.
Save it for the next pandemic.
yeah. I saw
I
this on
can't even
Instagram.
figure out which is the part that which is the part with the adhesive on it. Oh, here
Ladies
it's on
and
the bottom. What I didn't even expect it to be.
ladies and gentlemen, or lady and guy, you can see these masks on Instagram because I just saw it.
Yeah.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, but not one or both masks.
Both. I ordered this one as a backup in case this one didn't show up.
Yeah,
And then when I got both, it's like, well, I'll wear this for the concert and I'll put this on for Fins. And maybe the camera people will notice me and put me on the big screen when I'm wearing my Fins mask. And so that's why I've got a photo of both. And then I guess we can start talking about the set list. The first song was Down at the La Da, which it was way back then. That was the opening song for every single show. And I've got a clip from La Da, and it's Jimmy's opening words. This is how he greeted us at Pine Knob.
Oh yeah, Pine Knob. I remember this. It's been a while.
There. And I was shocked when the very next song was Fins. This was the first show after like a month breather, I think. And he surprised everybody by doing Fins second. And so I had to hurriedly change my mask. And then I took selfies on myself. Instead of doing the usual pan with my camera to see everybody doing the Fins dance, I did selfies of me wearing my Fins mask with the people behind me doing the Fins move. So I must have looked pretty stupid, very narcissistic.
Look at me.
And did I want to say anything else? I thought I wanted to say something else. Oh, actually, yeah, I completely skipped the part where the concert was practically empty for a good 45 minutes before the show. I mean, 45 minutes, the entire 45 minutes, 15 minutes before showtime, it started to fill up. But I was really worried from like 7 o'clock to 7:45 that there was no one around. And the lawn was empty, the concourse was empty. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm thinking everybody stayed home because it was so cold and rainy. But it's like, if this is the welcome we give Jimmy for a surprise concert that he gave us out of the blue, he's never coming back. But then
Plus,
fortunately,
there was some backlash on the having to prove you're vaccinated too, right? I mean, publicly, right? People were kind of complaining about that. And I looked at it as like a good thing. I liked it. It was good
yeah,
for me.
and I still wore a mask.
There's two kinds of people: the ones that think that's a good idea and the ones that don't. I think it's
the thing was it was I don't remember who recommended it, but they were saying that you should go to the gates and get your stamp or whatever. Oh, it was a wristband. Get your wristband so you could go right in. You wouldn't have to get in line and wait for your wristband when showtime started. So we were all planning on that, and then we get to the parking lot and it's so empty. There's just a little cluster of people. And they had 313 Presents guys walking around the parking lot and giving out wristbands in the parking lot.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they came right up to us.
And we got our wristband. You just had to show your CDC card, and I had mine in plastic on a lanyard. I was so prepared, and we got our wristband while we're just standing there, so we didn't have to line up at all. And then when we finally got to the gate at like 6:45, 6:50, maybe even 7 o'clock, there was no one. We could just walk right through. There was no holdup whatsoever.
That's weird. Well,
and
how did it look like?
And it was rainy and rain gear and stuff.
Yeah,
right
it was
out in the
drizzly.
parking lot.
It was drizzly. I underdressed actually because I just had a windbreaker on. I could have worn a regular coat.
Mm-hmm.
And did But when it filled up, did it fill up, or was it still a little
The
less than usual?
show did not start till like 8:15, 8:20, and by then it had filled up. And I was so relieved. It's like, oh my God, Jimmy can come back now.
I don't remember
And
what the lawn looked like, but the pavilion was full.
Well, I did see the
think
picture on
the-
Instagram. Nobody was on the lawn,
Yeah,
but that was
that
earlier.
was
But
that was after 7 o'clock. That was like 7:05, 7:10 for an 8 o'clock show. And the lawn was empty. And so
Yeah.
that's why I went up there and took photos. What now? Oh, political text.
Oh, I'm getting tons of
oh
those
no,
Yeah.
I
It's
haven't had
shock.
one of those in
I'm so
in-
popular.
in minutes.
I haven't. This was all hour. I haven't had one of those.
Well, it was nice that it was very nice that it filled up by like 8:20. Jimmy came on around 8:20. I swear I was the only person in pavilion with a mask on. But then watching the concert later, the video of the concert, there are a few people. There are like maybe 6 in the whole pavilion that had masks on. And I really hated it. I thought it was a stupid idea for me to wear a mask because I couldn't breathe. I couldn't sing. I wanted to sing, but I had to keep taking these huge gulps of air. And but anyway, the song after Finn's was Changes. Here's what he had to say at the beginning of Changes.
All right, all right, all right. Well, well, well. Here we are. 2 years went by. Where did the summer go? Let's just start with that. What happened to summer? It went away, I'm telling you. But we're glad to be back here because if we're back here, that means fun is back, right? So, and like I said, this is, and just simple thanks to all of you. This is our 33rd show at Pine Knob. We couldn't be here if it wasn't for you, you know. So this time, we're still changing attitudes. We're still changing latitudes. So I think it's all looking good on us, don't you?
There are a couple bum notes, and I wonder if that was because their fingers were so cold.
I could see that.
Next song is Grapefruit Juicy Fruit, and here's a little of the dialogue between Jimmy and Mr. Utley.
And this song, I have to confess that it was written after I committed a couple of mortal sins at the drive-in. I've not revealed that before, have I, on stage? Are you shocked by this, Mr. Mike Utley?
Not at all.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay. Anyway, the drive-in's not there, but my memories are still here. So a little grapefruit, a little juicy fruit. Look at that. Yeah. Tonight, I'm not going to be wearing a bathing suit, I'll tell you that. So let's play warm, huh? Like it's warm. Ooh. God damn, it's hot here. Feeling better?
The
Well,
cool thing,
as I remember it, wasn't it like 75 degrees the day before?
and the day after. I
Yeah.
don't know about
Yeah,
the
and
day
the day
before.
after.
The day after was beautiful.
Yeah.
Sunny all day long.
Yep.
Very mild and temps in the mid 70s. And the day
Yep.
before our show day, it was temps in the mid 50s.
What was
I
the date
think
of the show again? September.
23rd.
Oh, so it was
23rd
right
of
after.
September.
It was right when fall started.
Mm-hmm.
And he's talking about Jimmy's talking about it warming up, and I have to admit that it did. I actually did I felt I was getting warmer right around then, like 3 or 4 songs into the concert, because I guess the blood was pumping and everybody else was warming up too, and it did actually feel decent right around then. But before that, it was freezing cold. Song after Grapefruit was Growing Older But Not Up. Then Son of a Sailor, The Slow Lane, Knees in My Heart, 5 o'clock Somewhere, and Come Monday. And interestingly, I forgot about this till I listened to the concert the other day, meaning yesterday. He did not rewrite the one lyric for Pine Knob or Michigan. He sang it straight. You know how there's the
Mhm.
one line where
Yep.
he changes it for the locale.
Yep. Nice
And
to be
this,
in Pine Knob again.
yep. And I suppose I should mention that what used to be DTE Energy Music Theater is now back to Pine Knob. So we can actually appropriately refer to it as Pine Knob now because they've rechanged the name back to Pine Knob.
But did they do that after the show though?
Oh yeah, they did
Yeah,
it
yeah, it
this
just had
year, I
recently.
think. I
Right.
think they did it this year
Oh
because
no,
it's
I thought
the
it was before. Didn't he? Wasn't that a big deal?
yeah, but I thought it was this year because it's the 50th anniversary of Pine Knob.
Hmm.
So they went back to Pine Knob, and they also have a gallery in front, a photo gallery in front of one of the entrances that has a bunch of historical photos of Pine Knob, including the tunnel with all the band logos. Except I've only seen photos of one side. They don't have like the entire every logo. And Jimmy has a photo in that gallery, and it's a recent photo though. It's the Arctic blonde Jimmy as opposed to the guy with the mustache, the curly blonde hair and the mustache. But still, it's pretty cool that he's in there, and rightfully so. But it's cool that they at least acknowledge that he should be in there.
What a dumb idea that was to have that big walkway right in the middle of the lawn.
Yeah.
I
What
just
a
read
waste of space.
Yeah.
there's a podcast that Gary Graff is doing with Pine Knob, and
wow.
he's interviewing a bunch of artists that are mainstays of Pine Knob, like I was going to say Eddie Money, but it's the family of Eddie Money because Eddie Money's not with us anymore, and a bunch of other artists that I can't remember. There are 12 episodes so far, and it's really cool because they're short. They're like 7 or 8 minutes. So I got caught up in the morning with all 12 of them. But I saw an interview and also heard an interview with the woman that did all those logos. She was an art
Oh wow.
art instructor, and she was responsible for all those logos. And she said that she could see that the lawn was like that tunnel was falling in on itself because of all the people that were on the grass. And so that's kind of the reason that they filled it in. That and the fact that they could sell more tickets.
There.
But
That's probably the main reason right there.
yeah, yeah. It was a win-win. They avoided lawsuits and they also got to make more money.
But I'll interrupt. January 14th, 2022. It went back to Pine Knob, according to.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
But Buffett always called it Pine Knob.
yeah,
Right.
we
never-
called it Pine Knob.
Yeah.
in 2001, it changed to DTE, and there was a 20-year contract.
Was it? Wow, that long? We're
So
so
it's,
old.
I know, yeah. That's why, yeah, like my sons are like, it's DTE. What do you mean? And so many other people, what do you mean, Pine Knob? So
They're
it
just
looks like
dumb.
the contract just ran out.
And
Isn't
it's
that
also
weird?
it's also the 50th anniversary as well
That's cool.
of the place.
Wow, 50.
So it makes sense. It makes
I remember
sense for
when
them
it's-
to go back to the original name.
What was your first show there? Do you remember?
Mine?
Both of you.
Loverboy?
Look, thanks for. I
Loverboy with you guys.
I went to Buffett in '82, but I think I went there before. I don't think so. I think it was Buffett in '82.
I don't remember when Loverboy was. I saw him twice. My very first concert was Meadowbrook, but my first Pine Knob concert was Loverboy. And the Meadowbrook concert was the Detroit Pops performing music from Star Wars and Close Encounters.
Uh,
It was awesome. I loved it.
I
But
saw
anyway.
Loverboy there. I saw Loverboy, and it might have been with you, Mick, too.
Yeah, it was. I know it was this. I went
so that
with
was
you
your
guys.
first show there. Okay. I saw REO Speedwagon there. That was like in '78, I think.
Really that
77,
early?
78, yeah.
Like it just opened. When did that? 50 years is 77. I mean, did 77 its first year, maybe?
Could have been.
No, it would be 72.
Oh, 50. Yeah, I was thinking on the 5, whatever. 72. That early. I can't remember if I saw anybody there.
I think that was my first
You
one.
had your blinders on. I could only see the stage.
Yeah.
But I was just a young whippersnapper then. I was like 15
Yeah.
at the time.
I had to wait a good 10 years before they got all the kinks out and the bugs. Well, not the kinks, because the kinks did play there. Got all the bugs out.
Ah, the Bugs, the Beatles. They never played there.
Yeah, the Beatles never played. Ringo Starr played there though.
I
Yeah.
saw him
Um,
there.
Did you
Yeah,
see
I
Ringo? I
s-
never did see that
I
band.
saw him
I thought I saw him with you.
2 or 3 times.
Or
Yeah,
maybe I saw him with Mick.
probably. I saw him.
I don't think I saw him.
Maybe we saw him with
I'm
Colin Hay. Did we
pretty sure
not?
I saw him 3 times.
Yeah,
And of
Colin
course-
Hay used to be. I don't remember. I don't think so. I didn't go.
I'm pretty sure I told you guys the story of the first time I saw Ringo Starr there with John Entwistle. And Billy Preston, I think, was in the same show, which was a great lineup. It was pretty cool. But there was a huge John Entwistle fan that had a shirt called with Thunder Fingers on it, because I guess that's a nickname of John Entwistle because he's a bass player. And he talked the security guard into letting him go front center in the lip of the stage, and he held up the shirt, and John Entwistle's doing a solo, and right in front of the guy, and he looks down and gives him a nod, and the guy's going, "Yeah, this is awesome." He turns to the crowd, and he's doing this, and everybody's cheering for him because he met his idol. And he goes back to his seat. He's like 3 rows in front of me, and he just gets the bug to do it again. So he walks to the lip of the stage again, holds up his shirt, and he's still doing a solo. And the guy keeps shaking his shirt, and John Entwistle just kind of turns away, looks away from the guy, and continues playing his bass. And it's like he had the best moment of his life and the most humiliating moment of his life
Yeah.
within like
He
a
had
minute
to-
of each other.
He had to push it too far.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. And John Entwistle actually turned away from the guy, so he did not have to pay attention to this guy.
They were friends for 30 seconds or so.
And
He
I just remember
ruined it.
that. I tell that story all the time because it just really
Yeah, I
stuck with
remember
me.
that.
This best moment and worst moment.
That's a
within
good
each
educational
other.
piece there. Just, you could teach people, tell your kids that story. Now, don't try to do too much,
Yeah.
just be happy with what you have.
Yep. Just rest on your laurels.
Yep.
Don't try for more. Why did I tell the John Entwistle story?
We're talking about
It's a cool
Pine Knot.
story.
Totally
50
derailed
years.
myself. After Come Monday was One Particular Harbor, then Little Martha. Did I skip? No, here we are. Right after Little Martha, Jimmy comes back to do Nobody from Nowhere. And he had this to say during the intro to Nobody from Nowhere.
All right. I know. Okay. We all plugged in here? All right. This is a little song, and I got to say I did a little documentary thing with Gary Graff this morning because this has been 50 years that Pine Knob has been here. That's pretty amazing. And I was kind of conjuring up things, and I thought, the one thing about this is we've been lucky enough to travel around and have great fans and great people everywhere that come see us and try to put a little fun back in life right now. It's our job, I believe. And the thing of it is, it's this place, when I was looking out and doing the thing, it says they really haven't changed anything. We've played a lot of other sheds and started out like this, and they're putting more seats in doing this, but Pine Knob has remained an amazing little cathedral of music. And so thank you from the Nederlanders to DTD, who keeps this theater the way it is. And you're lucky to have it, and we'll keep coming as long as y'all want us to come back here. Because I remember when I was a little nobody from nowhere, and Jimmy Nederlander said, "Come on up here, you're going to like it up here."
I left the show on autopilot, but it still was able to
It held together.
Perfect timing. Yeah.
Song after Nobody from Nowhere was kind of a surprise, I think. It was Why Don't We Get Drunk and Screw? Then after that was Cheeseburger in Paradise, and Volcano was next. And here's an excerpt from Volcano because Jimmy changed the lyrics a little bit to reflect the conditions on stage.
And my girl quickly said to me, "James, you've got some shoes on your feet." Oh, that lover comes out soft and hot. You got to love me now or love me not.
Thought I put the whole verse in there. Yes, Jimmy was wearing shoes. He was actually wearing shoes on stage for the first
That's how
time
cold it
ever.
was.
Yep, it was so extreme that he had to wear shoes. Song after that was Cowboy in the Jungle, then The Wino and I Know, Back Where I Come From, Pirate Looks at 40, and Margaritaville. And here's a clip from Margaritaville because Jimmy did a little lyric change here too.
Okay. Well, we're gonna take you to Margaritaville right now, and then again, thank you for 32 years of coming up and entertaining y'all. We'll see you wherever we can go. And let's remember, fun is back in your lives, and let's have a little fun here. Be safe, and we'll see you again in the summertime next year. Yeah? Thank you all for coming. We love you. Nibbling on sponge cake. Oh, watching the sun bake. Sun. A holly parrot head covered in clothes. Strumming my six string on my front porch swing. Smell those shrimp, I'd better hold my nose. Wasted away in Margaritaville. They were a little raw.
And there's a thing in the video that I didn't notice at the time, but during the keyboard solo, Jimmy walks over and plays along with Mr. Utley. But Jimmy doesn't know how to play keyboard, so it sounds really terrible. And then as he walks away, he says, "That was for Mick." And now we know that he was referring to Mr. Utley's son.
Poor Mick. You thought it was you, didn't you?
No.
Because it was
Until-
Ask.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty
the
sure
show
I didn't
Ask.
hear it at the time, but when I was watching the video, it's like, I wonder if I can isolate that sound.
I'll do that for Nick.
And that was it for the concert proper. And then the encores were Southern Cross, Gypsies in the Palace, and Take It Easy, done by the Show Pony group, which is the bluegrass, the acoustic bluegrass stripped down version of the Core Reefers. And after Gypsies and Take It Easy, the final song was Book on the Shelf. And I know that we've been told that when Jimmy does Tin Cup Chalice, it means he's really enjoyed the show. But I'm glad that he did Book on the Shelf for this night because it was a new song. And I was hoping he would play it. And he did play it. So I'm happier that he did this song than Tin Cup Chalice.
Yeah, that's a
And
good closing song. I like it.
here is, and I'm surprised he didn't do it more. That that earlier in the tour, and
he had so much more fun at the other shows.
but still, I
Oh,
would have
the weather was so much better.
appreciated it more.
I agree.
And here's Jimmy's very final words before he left the stage. Little did we know that they were going to be his final words for many years because he has not come back. He said he was coming back in the summer. He did not. But anyway, here's what he said at the end of the September 23rd show, 2021, a Thursday.
We'll be back. We love you all. Drive home carefully. Have a great fall. Love you.
I like how he has to
You
check
thought
his
about saying
watch.
winter.
He had to check his watch to make sure what season it was.
Just like Joe.
Just like me. Yeah, but I like the way he emphasized, like, this isn't what I usually say. Have a great fall.
After the show, like around 2 a.m, I discovered that to go back to talking about Instagram, that the Margarillas had uploaded a 10 or 12-minute long story reel with a bunch of clips from the concert from the Pine Knob show. And I made the mistake of screen grabbing them on my phone, but recording the audio on my desktop. And now I can't sync the two things up.
Damn it.
Somehow they're at different speeds. You would think it would be the same because it's all digital, but no, I cannot sync up the audio with the video. But I'm probably going to drop in some of the stuff right now and see if I can cobble together some kind of audio sync. But it's pretty cool because it shows Jimmy arriving backstage behind Pine Knob, really backstage because it's outside. And then there are clips of the sound check, and they're hilarious because they're all bundled up in like winter clothes. Mr. Utley has a ski cap on. Jimmy's got a big, thick scarf around his neck. It's hilarious.
See, that's why they didn't want to come back.
Well, come back in the summer, just like
Yeah.
Jimmy said. Come back in the summer like you're supposed to. Matter of fact, a 3-day stint around the 4th of July would be great, like you used to do.
I like it.
What else? Oh, and then they in the Instagram story, they shot video from different parts of the pavilion, but that wasn't that great because it's like seeing your own footage because you're really far back and you're just in different spots of the pavilion. And that's what most of the 12 minutes is. But anyway, the opening stuff is pretty cool with Jimmy showing up and the sound check. I forgot what sound check. I forgot the word sound check. I was going to say set list, but it's the word sound check. What else? Was that it? I think that was it for the concert. We finally covered our own concert only 13 months after it happened.
It was just you two, right? Was it just you two, or did
No, Amber was
Amber
there.
go?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
I do remember listening to these clips. I remember that. I remember listening to it. I'm pretty sure I turned it on right when it started, and he was talking about Pine Knob. It was La Di Da. I just assumed it wasn't the first song for whatever reason. I remember that. I was wondering if I thought it just started late. I mean, started on time, and I tuned in late.
Before we move on, just two little tidbits that I noticed. One is you might have gotten an email about this, but Jimmy's Fin Club. They've brought back the virtual tour since they're not doing shows. The Buffett people have brought back the virtual tour, but to get to it, you have to sign up with Jimmy's Fin Club, which is weird because to get to the original videos, you had to sign up with Margaritaville TV.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have to sign up with Jimmy's Fin Club. So I just used the same email and username and all that. So it's like, I don't know what the difference is. But I just noticed that now it's Jimmy's Fin Club. So that's one of the stories. The other one is I found out today that today was the last episode of the Margaritaville podcast. So I don't know if you've caught the latest episode.
No, I've only listened to a couple ever.
Oh, really? Oh, I thought you were a diehard follower.
I've listened to 0 of them.
The last one was like a month ago, so it's been a while, and actually the last one wasn't even that good. But today's was Hakey's announcement that I believe Sirius is going to do their own kind of Jimmy Buffett podcast. And so Hakey is ending his Margaritaville podcast. And he also talked about visiting Jimmy at the hospital and contacting Jimmy after while he's recuperating. And Jimmy's got a lot of plans for next year, and everybody's really excited about it. But I still can't find out what sent Jimmy to the hospital.
And he's out of the hospital, right?
I believe so. I'm not an authority on this, but I'm pretty sure he's back home and recuperating. But it just really annoys me that everybody is just taking the word of the press release and where are the investigative reporters of today?
Right. Where's the fourth estate?
I just did another search today on updates for Jimmy Buffett's health, and they're just regurgitating the press release.
Mm-hmm.
And the really irritating thing is these articles sound like they were artificial intelligence. Like they're just taking the words of the press release and just moving them around to create a brand new article that says nothing but what the press release says. It's really irritating. And I'm finding these articles more and more when I'm doing searches where it's just your search term just regurgitated in different. They take the words of your search term and just move them around in different sentences, and then you end up reading this whole article that tells you nothing more than the terms of your search.
Yep.
And it's really annoying. It's really annoying. You can't find any information anymore.
Yeah, isn't that weird? It is. Your search is, first of all, it gives you a bunch of websites that really aren't what you want, but
Yeah,
they're
Google
ads
sucks.
or something.
Google
It's so does
totally,
Bing, but yeah.
totally has crapped the bed in like the last year, maybe 2 years. But Google is pretty much useless now.
They push you on these sites that are paying to be up there that don't really match your
Yeah.
search.
And then
so
if
you have to page. And,
if you like fine tune your search to try and get away from those, it's just the same links in a different order.
Yeah, it says ad in the corner, but yeah,
it's so
and
irritating. I've
Bing
stopped
does the
using
same.
Google. I went to DuckDuckGo, but they're okay, but they're still not as good as Google used to be. I mean, Google used to be just amazing at finding, at giving the stuff you were looking for. Now it's just crap. That's me ranting.
My laptop, I just use Edge because it just made me, and it saved all my info, so I just use it. But that's Bing. But I can go to Chrome if I want. And then on my phone, it's Google. I use Google mostly.
No, I stopped using Google. It's just useless.
I just always assume, I've been assuming it's COVID. That's kind of what I thought.
It's a supply chain issue. That's why you can't get the links in time.
No, the Buffett thing is COVID.
Right? Oh.
It's hospitalization.
Well, why wouldn't they just say it though? Why?
Shut up about your stupid old man rates and the searches. Look, I'm back to talking about Jimmy Buffett.
Right.
That's right. It's a Buffett podcast. I forgot. Yeah, but why wouldn't they just say? I mean, everybody's gotten COVID by now except me and Mike. We're the only ones that haven't gotten it.
True.
Yeah, that's right. Both of you.
Wow.
Mike got it. He just didn't have any.
Maybe I just didn't know it. I sat right between two guys that had it at that game. I had it.
And you drove in the car with them.
Yes. Yeah.
Anyhow, you guys are lucky, and hope you don't get it.
I feel left out.
Hopefully.
Are we done with Buffett stuff? I got to do TikTok.
We're going to need some jokes, but yeah.
No, we never talked TV.
But yeah, we can talk.
Yeah, but we can talk about anything now.
Yeah, I open the floor to all questions.
Okay, you want to read a couple? Okay, what's a ghost's favorite meal? Spaghetti. Spook. It goes in with what we were saying before. What's the witch's favorite lesson at school? Spelling. Why wouldn't the skeleton go trick-or-treating? Because he
no body.
Because he didn't have any guts.
Oh, okay.
Close.
Why do ghosts make good cheerleaders? Because they have a lot of spirit. What's a pumpkin's favorite sport? This is a deep cut. Squash. Ugh. Okay, I'll read this without finishing. Two scary monster brothers were invited to a Halloween party. They arrived to a house full of ghosts, goblins, and other scary monsters. One of the monster brothers said to the other, "Some cute girl monster just rolled her eyes at me. What do you think I should do?"
Roll them back.
The other brother monster thought about it for a while and replied, "Be a nice, God dang it, be a nice monster and roll them back over to her." Very good. Jeez,
so
it's a long paragraph. I read it. I thought, this might be good because it's long.
No.
I think you'll have to edit the one halfway decent one and make it the only one.
If I find it, I'll try.
Yeah, good luck.
That's life on